So let's get down to session 3, conduct internals. Now, when we do the internal research, the very first step, what are the opportunities? Spend analysis. Supply, developing the spend cube around, procurement taxonomies, and TCO. So these are the broad things which we can look into it. To assess the opportunity first, I need to develop a team charter. I alone can't do it. I might be capable to do it, but that will not be respected. I need a team chart. Who are the team players? One could be from production, one from sales, one from design. I could have it. Identify the stakeholders. Who are the people who are affected by this? I've got 20 lines around and I'm dealing with X product areas. So I'm dealing with non-conventional energy, other one is dealing with other one's power ones. So two different stakeholders. Spend analysis. Categorizations. Stratify the buyer. Communicate team split. Then we need to write down, guys, our charter will have to come. Team charter will come, guys, this is what we do. And every week we'll meet. If needed, we could meet on a daily basis. Current stakeholders. Overview of external spending. Identification of specific sourcing, initial sourcing, stakeholder buy. So that part I know is a very tough job. Because we did with one of the big companies around. We shifted the people from maintenance to procurement. We pushed these activities around. So I could say it's a very tough job. So one needs to have patience to follow this. So let's look at which are the low-hanging fruits. I'm starting first time. So first time I will not take the very difficult job. I will take the job which is low-hanging. If you're doing first time strategic sourcing, I'll take the low-hanging ones where I can demonstrate, guys, this is what I did. So people have a faith. So instant saving, credibility to the work routine. The people who are working on the team around, I think that should be good. It provides credibility around building support for you. You might be the smartest guy on the earth, you can do it, but you need support for other people. So this is a very fundamental part of the purchasing and supply management part. So strategic sourcing strategy is the first thing. Now, strategic sourcing is a logical process involving the application of the tools by skilled, competent, and knowledgeable. You cannot do a logical process until you have in the team competent and knowledgeable. So people have to think about it. Developing and implementing strategic sourcing is a function. So it is typically a part of procurement and supply chain. If you're calling it a supply chain, it's a supply chain planning. If you think within supply chain, procurement is part of it, then I'll call it a procurement function. So it's broad areas is advisable to subdivide. Now positioning this for strategic. Let's take where the purchasing and sits within the organization. Are you part of the finance? Are you part of the legal? Are you part of human resource? Are you independent? In your case, I don't know whether you're part of the finance or independent. If you are independent reporting to CEO, the life is easier. But if you guys are sitting as a part of finance and you want to bring some changes, it's going to be a tough job. Whether you are alongside finance or ship, legal, both by nature they are conservative. Illustrate the role of the function itself, who carry out, terms of reference, scope of responsibility. So in short, yeah,
Krishna ji,
yeah,
sorry to intervene. We are not reporting to finance team, by the way. However, most of our activities, like requesting for a new purchase requisitions in place to meet out certain uncertainty in demands, or to meet out the uh, supplier MOQ or the supplier SPQ related ordering patterns. We have a large dependency on finance, wherein we need to give them justification every time to see that we are not piling up the inventory and we are spending the right money. Yes, you are correct. In fact, most of our our speed is hurdled by through that particular kind of process.
This is where I look around to the once the project is clear. Now, project has got some financial implication. Certainly, because every project, if you look around any project of yours, 70% cost of the project goes into procurement and supply chain. I'm having a project setting up a non-conventional energy project on power transmission or whatever it may be. That 70% of that is procurement and supply chain. Now, that 70%, if the project has already decided this has to be done by December, that means I must have budget provision of the money. I don't need to take another approval. It should come, I'll put down, okay, guys, I've got the request for this. This is the budget requirements. And once the budget approval is done, I don't need shackle to control me. I know everybody has to justify their role. I can understand. If they are used to justifying doing this work on a regular basis, but now the new concepts are changing. So guys, you tell me the budget, you tell me this, I'll ensure everything is done within that. Finance is more interested in the budget. If I'm sitting in the finance, they should not be looking into your each and every contract. They should be looking around, this project is of $50 million. Procurement is asking around 35 million. So procurement should not exceed more than 35. End of it. So then your boss will look into it, guys. I will not spend a single penny more than this. On the contrary, I'll save. And the saving is my profit. Procurement is not a cost center. Procurement is a profit center. So that approach has to change. That's not it. But for everything, I have to go through the finance for clearance and approval. Then I'm getting into nonsense. It's becoming a bottom. Am I touching the point? Or are you making it?
Yes, I agree with you.
I think this is happening in India, but in other countries it is changing. Here I know traditionally we have been falling like that. Procurement used to be part of the finance, and sometimes legal people think that we control them. So it's a different way. I think it needs a due credit to do a good job. Otherwise, yes, the work will go on. I'm not saying, but then they should not blame them. But somebody has to. If X comes as the leader, the guy will say, guys, I was given so much time. I wasted so much in this process. And if you get the blessing from the CEO, give a roadmap. This is where I went through struggle also initially. I used to have meeting frequently saying, I need your attention. You want me to do a good job. Attention means sit down. This is the 10 steps. And these steps are costing me extra time. Not that I want a monopoly, that every power should be with me. No. I want to work on a cross-functional basis. If cross-functional finance is there, legal is there, I have no problem. So in a weekly meeting, we sit together, discuss. Finance can ask as many questions, no issues. But then it's a group. Not that you send me a note, I'll submit. Okay, guys, this week we're going to talk about this procurement, these 20 items. The cost involved is so much. Last time cost was so much. And we do it. So when I became the chairperson later on in the year, and then I used to have people from finance, others were around, and one person will submit the whole from procurement, supply chain. And then everybody has the right to ask questions. And once the meeting is over, end of. But I don't have to justify everybody. Group as a whole, cross-functional as a whole. So to me, finance, legal is a cross-function. Production also part of it. So that I think the what concept, cross-functional, we have to bring around. This silos concept has to go out to make a best use of it. illustrate the role of function itself. Can you imagine the GM, which is a marketplace? If I'm sitting in the health ministry, I go to the gem, I select 3 suppliers. I said, guys, tomorrow is a reverse auction. I place an order. Even audit doesn't question me. It's a marketplace. So the working modality has to change. This is where I want to say. I know some of you may be thinking I'm speaking at my age, this one, because I've gone through all these years. So what I used to promote, control, but now I'm finding these controls are killing us. Earlier was controls are required, I can understand. But there was no transparency. Today, everything is transparent. Anybody can check who got the business, what price it went, what are the previous price. Because of the technology, because of the visibility, chances of frauds are gone. So one can easily find, okay, last year how much we paid. I could have a control tower and I can tell my duplicate guy, my assistant audit, the AI, can you find, I'll say, guy, Alexa, can you find how much we spent last year? How much are we doing this? Is it justifiable? Can you tell me what is the dollar rate, how much has gone up? I can do all that calculation and justify to them. So since we are more visible, more data, I don't need those controls. As is analysis. So if any one of you is doing first time strategic sourcing, look at customer and business requirements. Spend analysis not only on the past data. You might be growing 25%. Last year you have 20 products, but one product is not out, but the second has grown 3 times. The third one has gone down. So I need to know the future spend. So not only the past, but the future ones, which should be practical in your case because your projects are long cycle. If I'm not mistaken, every project will take more than a year to complete. Am I right to say every project of yours takes around a year to complete?
Yep, from the customer order to delivery cycle, yeah, it is close to 1 year.
1 year. Because I did on the electricity side, if Iraq wants to destroy it, it takes a year, fine. For me, it took even 2 years also some project. Then market analysis and market. Now here, again, to divert the discussion, how do you find the market? How do you identify the market? They come to you or you go to them? Anyone? How do you identify the market?
Mostly we go to them. That's my opinion.
How do you find this? Some of you must be new in this business around in this product, energy sector. But how do you tell, guys, where are the suppliers? Do you have any database? Like Thomas Registers or Alibaba?
You are referring to the selling portion of our product. Are you referring to that or buying portion of it?
No, buying is the last thing. First is to identify who are the other suppliers.
Even you're asking about the competition or competitors for our base?
Yeah, you could be competitor for your base also.
Okay.
Because in today's world, when I was dealing around in the private sector, I want to see who are my competitors. From where do they buy? Are they in my list or not? Can I attract those suppliers? Then who else are there around which are not used by any one of us, but they are coming up? Startups around. How do I tap all this? Because you become powerful by having the knowledge of supply. Your success is all about supply. If my supplier is good, let's say the 2 people around among you. So one of you has found a good supplier. Take a little more time, no worry. But supplier does such a good job that you can relax. And everybody will say, guys, oh, Ramakrishnan did a great job because, but Ramakrishnan did only job was identifying a good partner, nothing else. The job is done by a supplier. But if you are in a hurry and find a wrong supplier, And supplier become the pain in your neck. For you, it's a pain, but for the people, say, guys, this procurement guy doesn't know how to get the job. Am I right to say?
Spot on, sir. You are right here.
So that means your success and failure. I have gone through all that stories myself. Your success and failure is your supplier. So be very careful in finding more choices. Be careful in identifying suppliers. That's good. That side I will not do short because that will trouble you a lot. Even if I get a pressure from top, give it to business students. I'll say, guys, let me check all the things before I place an order. Okay, guys, then we come the categorization. I'm leaving it because you have to group them together. Even now, strategic sourcing also, you need to categorize which item I should give to this person, procurement guy, because everybody's not dealing with one item. So you may like to give to one person, guys, all items which are casting, give it to this. All commodity to this one. All machine component to this. All bearings to this. So you may like to categorize in that fashion. So, and then categorization, if you have a taxonomy, that's a wonderful thing to do. So taxonomy, this is the one I developed around for the UNSPSC, and used now by everybody around. To be honest, I never knew the value of this. I did for my own purpose. Then Dun & Bradstreet came once. John came and said, Krishan, you are sitting on a gold mine. I said, oh my goodness, what is the gold mine around this? He says, guys, everybody needs a taxonomy to give a coding for the goods. So earlier people were giving coding by ledger number. And we came with this around. So initially I had a 5 digits, but then I had a limited choices. Then we came with a 9 digits, 10 digits, choices became bigger. So this is how it is. 2 digits for segments, could be 00 to 99. Family, again 00 to 99. Class, again 00 to 99. Commodity, again 00 to 99. Business function, again 00 to 99. Look at the segment, it's a very high level. The family. Within that class, commodity business function is, you want to say, I'm buying from a supplier, distributor, 01. I'm buying from small industry, 02. I'm buying from a women entrepreneur, 03. So then when I tell the computer, putting all zeros, if I say, can you tell me how much we spend through SM? 03 will give me the answer for that. Today, if you have to find how much you spend through small and medium enterprises, you may have to create a spreadsheet. But if I got a classification like that, the business function, I can just tell 0008 zeros, and the last one I'll say 03. Can you tell me how much we procure? So any SME's figure will come. So this is how it looks. One example I can tell you. Segments. I put down office equipment, accessories, supplies. So the very first digit is 44. So within this group 44, I'm buying office machines, office 10, then I could be 4410. But if I'm buying office supplies, then become 4412. So this could be 10, 11, up to 99 choices. Not even 10, it could be 01 to 99. So the next digit which you're showing 12 could be 01 to 99, multiple choices at segment level. Then come the families part. So family, I've taken office supply. So I have families under this group segment, 99 families. So I take one families. Then within the families, I've got mailing supplies, office supplies, collections. Then within that, I've got a class. So this again could be 00 to 99. I take a class and then I come to this commodity. So commodity goes at SKU level. If you are aware of the word SKU, stock keeping units.
Stock keeping unit.
Yeah, that means if I got a marker, this one is a separate SKU, this is separate SKU. So I do have a different SKU. So that means if I want to do data analytics, spend analytics at a commodity level, I can go with this digit, 44, 12, 19, 0. There's no brand here. But if you want, I don't want to go into too much. Give me at a 44 level. I'll put 44, 0, 0, 0. Or I can say, okay, I'll go up to family, 44, 12. The rest 0. So this is what you're seeing, 8 digits. But the last 2 digits, whether you're buying from manufacturer, if I ask you, how much of your items are coming from manufacturer? How many are coming from SMEs? How many are coming from distributors? I can do it. Analytics also. My system can do it. I'll ask question, I can do it. So here you can see the 14 is the retail. 43 is ITs, broadcasting, telecom segment. So within that family, I think families you will have to do it. Then within the family, I've got a class, computer accessories, commodity could be that. That's all. Now we start the spending. That's the heart of this whole strategic sourcing. Without this, strategic sourcing will not do. Because based on spend, I'll develop sourcing strategy. But what you are looking around is a category level. You may not be calling category management per se. You might be buying 8,000 type of item at a commodity lower level. It then becomes too much. So you want to group them together. Suppose you've got 40 suppliers within your organization, procurement guy, and each procurement guy is dealing with one category. I'll do the spend. Category level spend, spend by suppliers, number of suppliers for each category, and discovering opportunity for cost saving. So answers which it has to give around is total spend by category, total spend by supplier, and then by categories, total supplier with 80% of the spend. Now, are you able to get all these questions as of now with your system?
Yes, sir,
Partially, yes and no.
we are able to get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which system you have? You have e-procurement or you're doing ERP?
We have SAP.
ERP.
ERP will have tough time to give all this. Am I right to say
Correct.
this point?
Correct. You are right.
That's what I went through it. When I did around 2005, in 2008, I got frustrated. I said, no, I'm leaving after 2-3 years. So then what I have done, this doesn't help my procurement people much. Then I asked my IT people, said, don't worry, everything is feasible. So then they will make a program and find one data for me. Months and months. I said, not this. And by the time e-procurement is also coming. So, but IT people will always tell you everything is feasible, but the only thing is the cost of program. But I need apps which are much smarter, easier, friendly. So
In fact, we have a Tableau program wherein we are coming out with a SharePoint kind of a thing where we would be able to access to these data instantly, rather than not to go through the lot of reports from the SAP screens.
excellent. That means somebody has done the program for your questions, and those questions are built into it. The moment you ask, it gives you the answer. Am I right?
Yeah.
But again, if you're working on ERP, you only have requisition, you have a purchase orders, and you have payment. 3 silos. Am I right? 3 pillars.
Correct.
But then you don't have e-sourcing, you don't have e-category contract management, you don't have e-supplier management. Those are missing. Am I correct to say?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes. So Revti, you don't have the one that one, because then you have 3 pillars standing in the sea, but in between, it is all going into your email system. It's not on the one platform, end to end. That is what we call e-procurement. End to end is connected. I think we'll come back to that. So changes to that diagnostic of spend. Then there's a total cost of ownership, which I'm sure you must be doing around. You get acquisition cost, purchase price, let's say. But on top of it, when you want to become the owner, when you buy, you have to pay the duties. You have to pay the transportation costs. You have to pay for the installation. You have to pay for the maintenance on a regular basis. You have to get the warranty part if you want a longer warranty, insurance part. So that is also a cost, ownership cost. So we have the cost of acquisition. In the past, I remember the time when I started around with this, we were only focusing on acquisition. We never cared that there is a duty also. If I buy through China, maybe 27%. If I buy through Dubai, maybe 0%. So one has to look at those costs. Licensing. IT companies will give you, oh yeah, we're giving you software free. But we will have a licensing free every year. And after 5 years, they'll say, guys, now our software, we are changing it. So if you want to get updated version, you will have to pay upfront again. I mean, those are the costs, hidden costs. And IT business, it is very common. I remember the time we did around, first thing is customization, killed me a lot. License fee was less, but the customization cost was very high. So one has to see the ownership, operation cost. And then when I get the ownership, how many times it is down, somebody has to pay the price. I get an internet system from, let's say in India, we get 3 choices around, Airtel, TCO, whatever. Acquisition cost may be one, but other one, when it comes to ownership, also operation part, one is down all the time. One is not down, one is reliable. There's a cost to that. So I need to add those costs also. And lastly, when you use the goods around, there's a disposal. So you have got many machinery, equipment, because you have a plant. So those machinery are equipment which you're buying under the indirect procurement. Even your furnitures, computers, to dispose after 3, 4 years, 5 years. What cost you get? Or maybe when if you're in the Western world, they say, guys, if you want to do anything which is electronics, which uses rare earth material, which uses hard metals around, to depreciate, because they are not biodegradable, you have to pay the price to us. So there's a disposal cost. In India, I know we are able to sell everything by scrap, but not in America. I remember the time when we were doing cleaning of all the ships around Iraq, which were destroyed, and many ships were with nuclear material, other material. So we got one company to chop them off. Which country will take those pieces? Many chemicals around. They, I know, were sent to many poor countries who will melt them, convert them. Which country don't want to have? So there's a disposal cost. So that is when we say disposal cost, so there's a one TCO, one is called life cycle costing. So life cycle costing means you're looking around how much damage they're doing to the earth. So there's a cost to that, which I know you may not be doing now, but soon you will get a pressure. Another 4 or 5 years. Because the target for America is 2050. India is 2070 to become net zero. So then people will start looking at LCC cost. Presently, I know disposal costs in India, we get some money. Whether it's disposing the car, whether disposing the machinery, furniture, we get some money. So I can have. But then when it comes to life cycle costing, it goes one step further. How much damage it is doing to the earth in this operation. So then you will have to learn that trick also. So coming back to spend data management, as I'm now, I know you are getting very quick data from your set question, which is built into the SAP. Now, if I want to ask this question immediately, which supplier provide the greatest value to the enterprise. That may be difficult with those sectors. How does total spend roll up in corporate families to increase the leverage? This question answer will not come. Correct me if I'm wrong, because some will come, which I've shown with other questions. But if I want to do a research further, which commodity service represent the greatest sourcing opportunity for spend reduction? This one you may get. What is my total spend by industry classification? What is my spend in non-preferred supplier? If suppliers are not preferred, but I'm still doing it, now government to government, there's a problem about this. So now, which was preferred earlier because of the cost, maybe non-preferred. So non-preferred supplier, if I want to see, will become the new question. New question means somebody will have to program it. You will have to pay a fixed fortune. Coming back to the queue. Guys, you can stop me whenever you feel I'm going too fast.
I have a question here, Krishnaji.
Please, yes,
Can you go back to the previous slide?
Yeah.
I want to touch the last point. Where is spend occurring with non-preferred suppliers? So when we say they are non-preferred suppliers, it should always go with the supplier segmentation initially, right? What are all the other criteria that we would look into it when we try to segment a supplier, like a strategic supplier, a preferred supplier, a non-preferred supplier? How do you actually categorize it? Or is it based upon the spend that we do, or it is based upon the criticality of the supplies that it carries?
No, in a very simple sense, if I say around, you guys have done strategic sourcing, have identified the supplier. So in short, that's a preferred supplier. Now, but P2P people are not happy with that. And they are going, saying, guys, this supplier is a useless guy, we want to go another way. So that's the one they're deviating from your preferred list. So one way. Second could be that in the beginning they were preferred, but now we have a relationship problem with that country. So you have 3 years back was very good going on, but now we have a trade balance problems. And now they have become non-preferred. If I was working in the US, if I say openly, in China it was very common, cheaper, economical, but now the mindset is changing. So they are becoming slowly non-preferred. If I want to find guys, okay, what are the items around? How do I, ultimately everybody has to survive. So they want to see where are. So principally, if I go very basic definition, preferred means which you have done in strategic sourcing team or category management team, and the guy who are P2P people, sourcing people, those people, purchasing people, they are not following your guidelines. Reasons could be many.
Got it.
Yeah, let's say example, if I take British Petroleum, 57 countries they're working. I'm sitting in the headquarters. I'm a category head. I designed the pipes, drills, all those things around. I've done identification of supplier. But the guy who's buying and sitting in X place, whether Malaysia, India, or Kazakhstan, I'm sitting in Kazakhstan, I find guys, this supplier name is useless. I have another supplier which is next door to me and can do a better job. It's a non-preferred. Am I clear? The very basic definition.
Yep, clear.
Okay, guys, now coming back to the cube part. The cube comes only when you have multiple business units. If you have one business unit, then your cube is not relevant. But if you think that I've got 57 units around, your organization, Vernova, is in 20 places around, you want to see which unit, although you're buying collectively, you have a category head, or strategic head, whichever you call around. So operating company 1, operating company 2, 3, everybody is one. So the data sources from X company, Y company, Z company, I'm getting. So then I'm doing the data mapping on 3 dimensions. 1, organization. Other is supplier, and third is category. But if you have only one organization, until you want to find that guys, okay, how much I'm buying for HR, how much I'm buying for finance, how much I'm spending for the legal, because you are doing indirect procurement for many departments. Then I would go with the 3 dimensions. But normally we use cube when we have multiple units, different places around, within the country or outside the country. You will say business unit 1, business unit 2, business 3. Sometime what could happen, like Tata Steel or something, big units, I'm buying a lot for legal people, I'm buying a lot for procurement, I'm buying for, then I may like to use the business units in departments. So I leave it to the persons, but spend cube is there. So cube has got all three dimensions. So if I take the category, I want to say, guys, how much I spend on Impala, how much I spend on the housing, how much I spend on the category X, and then which supplier has supplied me. I can drill down. I can say for this category, I got 20 suppliers, and this supplier gave me the number one, this supplier was number two, this supplier was four, and the one I bought for this department, this one I bought for this unit, I can do it. So I can have the cube, and then from the cube, I can drill down everything. Now, overall, what we are looking around is the level. Overall, the picture of the whole top level picture of the spend. So when we look around, the overall means spend and number of suppliers by one. So now you got, let's say, 20 categories. So category, I'm not saying category management. Within strategic sourcing, you got category. And I'm the ones lead for one. Another one is the lead for another one. Third one lead. We may have 10 leads. So 10 categories. You say, guys, Krishan is a lead for this, and that's the category. The number of suppliers. Krishan is using only 20 suppliers. This guy is using, and spend is so much. My spend would, let's say, $1 billion. Another lead by location and business units. Spend to sales ratios. So if I'm dealing with one product, what is my ratio in that product? I'm making 20 products, but I'm dealing with one group. My share in that particular product is 5%, other one is 10%, other one is 20%. 20% means I have a key role in that product. So these answers I'm doubtful you will get now until you have e-procurement. Let me be honest. Now these questions are changing every year. Category level. Top categories, top spend, Pareto analysis, supplier overlap by category, suppliers, top supplier by spend, Pareto analysis, 80-20 formulas, and last item. So overall level, which senior management want to see, category level as a category head you want to see, then you want to know the supplier and item. So this is the type of analytics you want. Okay, guys, you want to have lunch now or later? Because this will carry on for half an hour.
Yes, we will break for lunch, Krishnaji.
Okay, now 45 minutes should be okay, or you want?
Yeah, it is okay. It is okay. 45 minutes is okay. Yeah.
Excellent. So we see after 45 minutes.
Yes.
So now it's 1:34. So 2:19, 2:15, whatever, if you guys come up, great.
Yep. Sure.
Okay. Okay, Sarvana, Ramakrishnan, Prabhu, anyone's guys, okay, we start?
I am there, but I'm not sure about others.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon. Yeah. Yes, please. Oh, my conference is going on. Maybe then I can be more relaxed in the evening time if it's okay with you. I'll call you back. Is it okay? Yeah, I'll go away. Other side is already there 1 minute late, so starting with that. Yeah. Yeah, evening, anytime after 6:30, 7 o'clock. So kind of you. Thank you also. Okay, guys, should we start?
I think we can start, sir.
Yes, we can start. Yeah.
Okay, so we left at this place analysis dimensions around. So at the overall level, category level, supplier level. So this gives you a little more knowledge about the spend part, which standard are not there now. Then we can convert the spend. This is the new slide which may not be in your book. Everybody has a book around, so I did have extra. So I take around 5 sourcing groups. Let's say in your own team, because you're not having a category management. So you may call as a sourcing group 1, sourcing group 2, sourcing group 3, 4. That each group may have a lead and people down the line. And now we have the key figures, cost of goods sold. Then we have the spend under management. So the cost of the goods sold under whatever this guy is doing around, like spend under management, this may be difficult cost part, but spend under management is easy. You know it very well. Yeah, I'm group 1 in charge, and my spend is so much, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. Then cost price breakdown. If I can have, guys, the item which I'm buying, let's say 7 items or 8 items under my group, each one I can put the cost price. Number of suppliers for each one. 3 suppliers, 2 suppliers, 1 supplier. Payment terms, what are there around? Contract coverage. Does it cover for 6 months? Does it cover 1 year? Does it cover 2 years? And supply rate. And lastly is saving potential. So this gives you a very good initial analysis part where I can have saving. Let's say again, I take example. Sourcing group, I'm dealing with aluminium items. And I'm dealing with steel metal items. Then within my group, my spend is around $40 million. Cost per breakdowns, price breakdown, then I'll say, guys, under my item, which are fabricated item, steel item, I've got 7 items. Each item I spell it up. Okay, under this I spend so much. Then for the first subgroup, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, number of suppliers. I've got 4 suppliers. In bracket, I can write down the name also. Payment terms for each one. Contract coverage. Supplier rating. If I see out of all 4, the supplier rating is only very average, 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5, then it gives me potential, guys, what do I do with this? So this gives you a complete package in that sense. So what I'm telling you around the question, so from there, ultimately you need to do the internal.